Okay, welcome back again. I know that we spoke a little bit about doing some progressive muscle relaxation, but honestly, I think that there's some really good videos out there that can teach people progressive muscle relaxation. So what I'm going to do is just give you a quick snippet of what it really entails, what it does, and I will show you the one for the kids because I didn't see anything that I thought was really worthwhile for kids. And then I am going to get into a little bit more about helping us understand our anger and how it turns into anxiety and vice versa. Okay. So when we talk about progressive muscle relaxation, what we're looking at is when we are anxious, tension, right? If you suffer from a lot of anxiety and maybe you don't even realize it, you have those tension headaches, right? Or migraines. Guess what? That's anxiety. You feel it in your shoulders, you feel it in the back of your neck, you get the migraines, your back hurts, it's stiff. It's not just from sitting at a computer. It's not just from work. A lot of times this is the result of your body being so tense from the anxiety, it puts a strain on you. So progressive muscle relaxation is a way to kind of trick your body as well into being more comfortable and relaxing. Okay. So literally people will do it from head to toe. And what they will make you do is release, okay, and contract your muscles, okay? So they'll have you squeeze your eyes really, 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 really tight and then let go and release, right? They'll do it with your face. They'll do it with your hands. Squeeze, squeeze, tight, tight, tight muscles and then relax and let go, okay? And this really puts the body into a calm state. One of the things that I really like to do and it has to do with breathing too with kids is you can't tell them, okay, now we're going to do progressive muscle relaxation and I want you to squeeze your eyes or, tighten your muscles. They're going to look at you, especially if they're like 5 years old, they're going to be like, what? So a really good idea to do is make a game out of it. Most things with children in therapy are kind of like play therapy and games. So one of the things that I like to do is like play little games with them in terms of like, okay, ready, we're going to see something. We got to block out the light. So let's squeeze our eyes really, really, really tight. Don't let anything in and open them. Okay. They're practicing the same stuff that the adults are, but you're bringing a little bit more fun into it and you're getting them to actually do it, right? Smile so, 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 so big. Smile big, bigger, bigger, and let go. Okay. This is an example. When you get down to the body, some of the things that you can do are like for your hands, right? Like, okay, so now you have lemons and we have to get as much lemon juice that we can out of it. So squeeze really, 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 really hard. Get all the juice out and you did it. Oh my goodness. That's another one. Another one that I really like is when we're teaching them breathing, especially from their diaphragm and their stomachs. We want to make sure that they know. So it's like, okay, we want to make sure that we can get under this gate and away from this monster. So let's suck in our stomach really, really in so we could try to squeeze under the gate and we're squeezing. Oh, we made it. Okay. So these are little things that you can do with kids. And again, it doesn't have to just do with anxiety. It really gets kids to learn how to relax and become more aware. This is exactly what mindfulness is, becoming aware of your body presently. The things with breathing too that I like to do is kids love balloons and they love candles. You can use those strategies to teach them good breathing, right? Oh my goodness, okay, we're going to pretend we're going to blow out a candle. So take a really deep breath because it's a really big candle. Blow it out. And then you want to exaggerate what they've done, okay? So those are some quick tips on the progressive muscle relaxation and then trying to have to also make them kid friendly. Hopefully you like those. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the anger and anxiety. So specifically for anger, one of the biggest things that we have to understand is that anger is an evolutionary biological thing, okay? And when we get angry, there's a lot of things that happen. We tend to say things that we don't mean. We tend to do things that are extreme. And what we don't understand, and this is to not to make excuses, but rather to see what's happening so that we can take control back, is that we have what we call kind of like an upper brain and a lower brain, right? So your lower brain is like your primitive side, right? Your survival, your heart rate, your digestive system, things that you don't really have to think about, right? This, we call it the reptilian brain. Then you have your higher brain functions, right? So as we evolutionize, we grew parts of our brain to make us more adaptable, which is why we're the magnificent creatures that we are today. And in that frontal lobe, which is the last part that has developed and it's still kind of new and doesn't have as much exercise as this really, really primitive bottom brain, is it helps us think. Okay. Now, here's the problem. When we are upset, the lights go out in the top. And guess what takes over? That reptilian animal brain. So guess what's going to happen? The screaming, the yelling, the anger, the frustration, and literally you do not have the capacity to think. That's why in the middle of an argument, even with a child, okay, talking to them is going to go way over their head. They are literally, their brain is literally not online. They will not connect. Bluetooth, not connected, not communicating, okay? What we want to do is learn how to calm ourselves down so that way we can get the lights to turn back on, trickle, boop, 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 and turn on that higher brain. And then we can talk about things, but we first have to realize that we have to calm down, okay? Because as long as we're not calm, our lower parts of our brain are going to be in charge. They're going to hijack us, and it will actually make things worse, you know? There's a lot of times where in arguments, people want to keep going and going and going, and then this is where things explode, okay? So we really need that time out. So if you're like, well, I like to get things done or I like to solve my problems, that's fantastic. But if you really truly want to solve your problems, you need to realize that you need a break. And this is with relationships just as much as it is with teaching your kids a lesson, okay? Because you'll sit there and you'll talk to your kids, and if you've ever seen those cartoons, they're like, womp, womp. That's exactly what your kids are hearing, okay? You want to really get a message through to your kids, and in order to do that, you need to understand that they have to calm down first, right? Ways to calm down: get them to breathe, progressive muscle relaxation, give them just not a timeout, but like a break moment. Like take a breathing moment, take a refresher, okay? And even physical touch. Physical touch releases oxytocin and it makes us feel good and it brings us back into awareness, okay? And then that can help us then talk to our kids. Another disclaimer that I want to give to you is, as much as you like to talk to your kids, you have to consider their age, okay? A 4-year-old does not want a 5-minute lecture on why they shouldn't smack their brothers. Not going to help, okay? The first minute and a half, they'll understand you, and then you've lost them, okay? So when you're talking to, especially the younger children, you want to make it very simple. I think it was The Happiest Toddler on the Block that I read. And in this one, it was funny because they compared children to cavemen, basically little cavemen that we parents have to learn and teach civilization. We have to make them become civilized human beings. And in that time when they're not civilized, we really have to talk to them like if they were cavemen. Like, no, no, no. No is no good. Very simple verbal explanations, because that's all that they understand. That's literally the only brain capacity that they have. What tends to happen is if you go too much and you're talking too much, you're going to increase their anxiety. You're going to increase their frustration. You're going to just increase their defense mechanisms, because little kids, the only thing that they know is survival. They want to win an argument just as bad as you do, and they're probably going to be a little bit better at it than you do, because they're good at being like annoying and knowing how to push your buttons. So you don't want to get into this with your child, and it's not you giving in, it is you teaching them the right skills to learn how to calm down. Because when you teach them this as young kids, they will take this with them later on to their relationships. They will learn how to calm down first. They will learn how to become more relatable. They'll learn how to become more empathic. They'll learn the importance of, calming down and then talking through something where something actually gets done and gets fixed. Okay. So those were just a few ideas. Next week, it's kids, 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 kids. Everything is going to be about kids. So, I mean, if you have kids, tune in. If you don't, you can skip next week. If not, then you can listen to it just in case you do have kids. I mean, sometimes they're always surprises. They're not always planned. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me feedback. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you want to hear more of something specific. Again, I am here for you. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.